Hope everybody's having a fantastic evening, morning, or day, wherever you happen to be. Nick Schott here, founder of GS Entertainment, musician, surfer, entrepreneur, and all-around fun-loving guy. Just want to do a quick review of a new instrument we've added to our quiver and to our personal Taylor family of instruments. And that particular new one will be the Taylor GS Mini-e Mahogany electric acoustic edition that was released this fall. It's a guitar that's become really popular over the last couple of years due to its great tonal quality and small size. It sort of changed the world of travel guitars, and I just had to pick one up when they released some limited editions with different tone woods. So anyway, this one's a mahogany one, which will have more resonance and sort of deeper, darker, bluesy, better mid-range tone, whereas a lot of other acoustic guitars deal with a lot of spruces as tops that have brighter tones, so it can add some versatility and a little complexity in a small package. But I think it's always great to do comparisons first, so just going to do a quick run-through of the other Taylors that we typically play. One that's a great all-around sort of guitar workhorse is the 114 CE, great for using alternate tunings and a nice backup guitar, but just nice clean tone. And certainly all you could ask for in an instrument in the price range of entry-level professional equipment. And then certainly my favorite and most highly utilized Taylor, the 812 CE. Get a nice really deep tone, and you can clearly tell the great tonal boost due to the all solid hardwoods. And then the new one, which I certainly put to the test today, came in the mail, and had a gig this evening and actually utilized this Taylor live for about half the material I played tonight. And just sort of to go through in comparison here to that 114 CE, you can tell that there's a drastic size difference and certainly a little bit more portability with this. And so it's great for its size, can fit in the overhead compartment of a plane, pretty much can fit at most places in the car. I know when I usually go to my gigs, I have a whole PA system in the back of my car, 2 acoustic electrics, usually a bass, maybe a mandolin or a ukulele as well. Can usually fit that all into one relatively small SUV, and so it's great to have that portability and compact size. And when you first look at it, we're just sort of cleaning things up here, otherwise I'd really turn on the lights, but since they vary all beautifully from their natural wood, so looking at mine, yours would have a variation because it's natural wood. But the thing that I really want to run through is the great tone that this thing puts out, which I think is, at least in my opinion, what most professional musicians are at the core concerned for. Is the tone really going to be what I want, and can I shape it from a performance level the way that I want to? And so, for this particular model, you have a solid mahogany top, and then Sapel laminate back and sides and neck with an ebony fretboard. And the mahogany is going to really make that mid-range tone be nice and clear and sort of boomy, the way that you would want it to be for bluegrass styles and certain folk styles, and for just sort of getting a much darker but still warm and dark tone. And this particular model is one that has already had a preamp installed on it, meaning I have EQ controls for volume and tone on the guitar. That's just a direct plug-in like all of the other Taylor electric acoustic guitar models. So I'm going to run through it first, not utilizing its electroacoustic qualities, because it still can, it'll give you the exact representation of the model that doesn't have the preamp installed. You'll have a point of reference to go by regardless of the model. The nuts and bolts of everything are relatively the same, minus the tonal variations that the various woods will provide. So anyway, no plug-in at this point yet, and or amplification of any means. Just really nice and resonant, and especially compared to if you play a lot of Sitka spruce or any other spruce or really more sparkling sound woods, you'll be very impressed with how much sound and how much the body is able to gyrate and sort of really project that sound for such a small body. As you can tell, we're recording this on an iPad and not utilizing any amplification at this point, and it really has a great tone to it. And that was sort of a little not utilizing a pick, but it has great tones, and you can really shape your tone with that too. Great, nice pure tone. And another thing for me that I'm always concerned about being a multi-instrumentalist is how are the instruments going to interact together when I utilize them at the same time? Are they going to complement each other? Is one going to sort of override the other and not get the effect that I want? And about a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks ago, picked up the harmonica as a new instrument and have been having a lot of fun with that. And so certainly concerned now, how is this going to fit into my routine? And so just to sort of do a quick demo of at least a sound with another instrument still in a purely unplugged acoustic setting. Going Neil Young style here. Upside down. Have fun with these for hours, I swear. clearly plays well with other instruments, and haven't had a chance to test it out with the ukulele and combinations with the piano yet, but again, we haven't even had this 24 hours yet, so we'll see what we can do with it in the coming weeks. And before we go, just going to do a quick, using a basic practice amp just to show you the potential on the acoustic tone, how much you can shape it through the amplifier and actually get great amplification with this if you can find a model where you get the preamp pre-installed. And even if you don't, Taylor also makes a understring attachable pickup that you can add if you're not able to get a model that has the preamp already installed. Cranking pretty loud now. Anyway, bottom line, as a travel guitar, in my humble opinion, having played, certainly not everyone there is available, but a lot of the models that are out on the market, and albeit the majority of those models are slightly more inexpensive than this particular model, the quality of tone that you get is certainly worth that sacrifice, in my opinion. And to be able to take an instrument around that has this sort of size and portability, and the great construction of the sapel laminate back and sides, that's really good for dealing with fluctuating humidity conditions. I don't think you could ask for more in an instrument that's equally at home, sitting on the beach, around a campfire, or as I certainly did tonight in the gig, played about half of the set list with this particular model, and certainly got the same response from the audience and the crowd that is typically had. So anyway, give me a shout if you have any questions or want to try to hook us up with some shows. We're just getting started with this, but in the next 3 days we're going to be hanging out in Hampton. Some great guys coming to town, and certainly musicians that I've looked up to a long time, from their innovative ways and certainly to their amazing musical skills, and that would be Trey, Mike, Paige, and John, 4 members of Fish. We will be there all 3 days hanging out, playing some music, so come and check us out if you're around.